guys, today I am back with a 12 by 12 layout. I'm going to be first doing a little bit of mixed media in the background, so I'm going to prep my white cardstock. This is a textured white cardstock, and I'm just going to be adding some clear gesso on top. So I'm just using this old key card from a hotel to smear it around, and I think that's one of the better tools that I've ever used. It's just got a really nice wide scraper edge, I guess. So I'm just using that to get the gesso all over the page. So if I'm doing a tinier area, I'll use like a palette knife or something like that that has a little bit shorter edge. But I like these key cards or an old credit card, gift card, those types of things. They work perfect for spreading the gesso all over. Next, I'm going to be using some of these Lindy's Stamp Gang sprays, and I absolutely love the Lindy's Stamp Gang sprays. I think I like them because they are really pigmented if you want to have them pigmented like that, but they also have kind of a more watery base, not a painty base, if that makes sense. Like Heidi Swap, I would consider more of a paint base, and then these are more of a water base. So it gives a more transparent look to it, whereas the Heidi Swap are a little bit more thick and more paint-like. So it just kind of depends on the look you're going for, but I do prefer kind of usually this more water base, more watercolor look than I do the paint look. So I absolutely love the Lindy Stamp Gang sprays for that. These both have shimmer to them, and I showed you the names of them at the very beginning. I don't remember off the top of my head what they're called, but I'm just going to be using lots of different layers on here. I'm going to spray and use the packaging technique, then I also splatted them down, and then I am using either this napkin or I am also using the heat tool to dry things, and I just do that in between because I like the layered look, and the more you kind of add and then dry, add and dry will give the more layers of color. And for this, you can see I'm only using the one color, that blue color at first. And so you can see I get a lot of depth of color by either blotting it or drying it or leaving it sit. And then that will do kind of a different color variation too. So you can get a lot out of one color. You don't feel like you have to buy several different colors of spray to get this kind of look, because you can definitely do this very easily with just the one. So I'm just auditioning my photo on the page. I want to make sure that my splatter, my mixed media area is enough showing and it doesn't get hidden too much by the photo. So this is a picture of one of our kitty cats. He is now full grown. His name is Denali, if you could notice that probably from the title of the video. But this is when he was a little itty bitty kitten. He was so cute. He is a Siamese, probably Siamese tabby mix. It's kind of hard to tell from the photo, but it's really cool. He has a lot of little stripes that are kind of real fadey and light on his skin, or on his skin, on his fur. So you can definitely see the tabby in him, but on this, when he was a little baby, his ears and face and paws are super dark compared to what they are now. They've lightened up quite a bit. But I love this picture because his little adorable face is looking up at the camera. So I just took some of this paper here, or actually, sorry, the tissue paper, and I'm adding some layers, and I did a couple different layers of the tissue paper. I just like the texture it gives, and it gives some separation between the photo and then the paper that you use underneath it. And I'm just using this fun foam. I'm probably putting way more adhesive than I need to put on this, but I have found that my fun foam just doesn't stay very sticky. It seems to dry out very quickly, and I worry that as it is sitting in my album, it's going to have problems. So I usually tend to add more adhesive. I think it just kind of depends on the area you live will determine whether you need to do that or not. Missy Whidden, I know, uses fun foam all the time, and she doesn't rarely add any additional adhesive to the side that the adhesive is on. So I think it just kind of depends, but just be mindful of that I have seen this fun foam, the stickiness kind of go away. So now I'm just kind of layering my photo up, and I wanted to make this little banner shape, so I took this yellow cardstock and made a bit of a banner. And this whole kit that I'm using here is a themed paper kit. I can't remember exactly where I got it from. It might have been from Hobby Lobby. I think it might be Echo Park. I can't remember, but it's all kind of cat themed papers. Oh yes, it is Echo Park. It's called Meow, I think. So I really like this kit. I thought it was really cute, and it's colors that I don't typically go for. So I thought it'd be kind of fun to grab the kit and use some colors that I don't normally use. This is kind of a more muted kind of colors, I guess. Maybe more on the, was that a warm tone, I guess? I don't know. It just was colors that are just a little bit different than maybe what I use all the time. So I wanted to take this paper, and I'm doing a couple different layers. I wanted to kind of mix it up so I wasn't having just the one layer on here. And I thought I was going to do it the portrait way, but I decided to do it the landscape way on the paper. And I just like how that looks, where you can kind of see the green kind of coming on the left hand side by the banner, and it just kind of, I just like how the texture works. Now this is a very super old, I think it's a Brad, that was from Making Memories, I think. I got it a long time ago, and it had some kind of phrase about cats, and I just smashed down the back of the not Brad, but the eyelet kind of part. I smashed it down because I just wanted to use as a flat embellishment on the page. But I also want to make sure I put enough adhesive on there so that it doesn't fall off because it is quite heavy. So you can see I added some of that fun foam there to kind of compensate for that smashed down piece where the eyelet hole would normally go. And now I'm just working on the bottom of this page. I felt like things were kind of floating, and I knew I kind of wanted to have some type of embellishment cluster at the bottom, and that's why I ended up using the mixed media down there as well. And I'm just taking a strip from the paper pad and then more of that green fishbone paper, and I believe it's the same piece that I was going to be using at the top in the photo cluster, and I just ended up using it here at the bottom. So I'm going to play with this and just kind of layer some washi tape up and some different things just to give it some extra texture that's different than just the plain paper. And I did that by just taking this washi tape here and then tearing it. I like the edge of the torn washi a little bit better than I do the straight for most of the things I do, but I do tend to mix it up. It just kind of depends on how I'm feeling that day or kind of what the page looks like. But for this one, I am just tearing it kind of down the middle, and I like that kind of uneven edge it gives. And I'm just kind of putting those little pieces here and there, just kind of wherever I think that the washi tape could go and make it look better. So now I'm finally gluing the photo cluster down, and then I'm going to add some washi tape here on the yellow part of the banner, I believe. Oh no, I'm sorry. I put it over here on the white piece of paper. And again, just bringing that around the page. And I like how this washi tape, it didn't come with a kit, but I really like how this goes with that stripe that I put at the bottom of the paper. So I'm going to add a little bit more here, and again, it's just kind of peeking through. I didn't want to have it too much. I wanted it to be pretty subtle, but just add a little pop of color here and there where I thought it needed it. So that little cat that I'm getting ready to put down here in a second, that one was also from the kit, and I believe it was a 3x4 card or another embellishment, and I just trimmed it all out because I didn't like, it was in more of either a rectangle or a square shape. I can't quite remember. And then I found this star punch, and it is from We Are Memory Keepers, and I am just going through and outlining it with my black pen. I felt like they were a little flat, and I thought adding the pen work around it made it kind of just pop a little bit. So because I did that pen work on the stars, I decided that I would do the same thing throughout the paper. So I went through and did that on fast forward, so you didn't have to watch me do that, but I outlined all the different paper that I had, all the photo cluster and everything. And now I'm just going to pop this up on some fun foam, again adding some more adhesive, and I even added some of that pen work around this kitty cat. So now I'm just going to glue these stars down. And I don't think I showed it on camera, but I do have another one of those metal embellishments. It says meow, and I'm adding it right here now towards the bottom. And I'm using, what is it? Not crystal drops. It is called, what is that called? Oh, glossy accents, that's what it is. I'm adding the meow with some glossy accents because I wanted to make sure it really stayed down. Sometimes I think the white glue isn't strong enough for some of these heavier embellishments, but I know the glossy accents is super strong, kind of like the super glue of crafting, I would say. So I wanted to add that onto the metal pieces because I knew that would stick and hold it there in place. So as I'm kind of finishing this layout up, I want to say thank you guys so much for joining me. Thanks for sticking with me when I haven't been able to make videos quite as often as I would like. It's been super busy. It just seems like that is the typical theme these days. So when I do have some free time, I try to get a video recorded and voiced over and things like that up for you guys. And so I'm hoping you're enjoying when I do get to post them, and you're having a good time this summer and you're enjoying yourself. So if you like the video, make sure you give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, I'd love for you to subscribe. So definitely hit the subscribe button. And if you want to know when I post the next video, because I have been a little sparse these days, if you hit the bell, that will help you be notified when I do post in the next video. So I'm just finishing this page off with this cute little banner. I popped it up on some fun foam. That fun foam I believe I got from Michael's, but I know you can also get it from Walmart, so be on the lookout for that. It is super cheap and way better than like maybe the 3M foam as far as price goes. And typically I don't put it directly on my photo, so I'm not super worried about acid free. I do this mostly just to have fun. In the past, I was really super concerned about that, but to be realistic, I'm not sure if my daughter's going to keep these. I'm not sure where these are going to go when I'm gone. I'm just having fun. I want to enjoy myself, and I don't want to spend some crazy amount of money because I definitely already spent a lot. So I definitely will get the fun foam from Michael's and use that to pop things up, and I just try to keep it off the photos. So I added the title Denali there with the sticker sheet that came in the kit, and I added a few little hearts, gluing them down because there is mixed media, and that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and here are some still shots. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and I will talk to you again next time. Thank you. Bye.